So we are dealing with a very interesting problem, and the problem over here is stating one end of a light inextensible thread of length L is held stationary over a frictionless horizontal floor, while a small bead tied at the other end of the thread is describing a circular path with a uniform speed v0 on the floor as shown in the figure. The upper end of the thread is suddenly pulled vertically upward with a constant acceleration E0. If the bead does not leave the floor, then find the magnitude of its acceleration immediately after the upper end of the thread is pulled. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to understand the basics associated with this problem. So before we start, let us see the motion as I perform it experimentally. So now let us consider the motion mathematically. So over here the first thing that we need to understand is that the floor which we are referring is horizontal, it is frictionless, and the next thing which is stated over here is that the bead will not break contact with the floor. So at any point of time, the component of tensional force or the pulling force which we are applying is not greater than the weight mg of the bead which we are talking about. So the next important thing which we need to understand is that as we are pulling this thread in the upward direction, a tensional force is created, and this tensional force is not at all impulsive in nature. When I say not at all impulsive in nature, I mean to say that it will not cause a sudden change in velocity. And this particular line is going to play a very important role in this present problem, as the problem is stating that we need to calculate the acceleration immediately after the upper end of the thread is pulled. So immediately, that is over here, I can mention that at t equals 0, the change in velocity or dv by dt is going to be 0, and also the change in angular velocity d omega by dt is equal to 0. So at t equal to 0, the tensional force which we are referring is not at all impulsive in nature, and it will not cause a sudden change in velocity of any kind, be it dv by dt or be it d omega by dt. So now over here, if we analyze this problem, so what exactly is taking place as this particle is pulled using this thread in the upward direction. So over here we can say that apart from this tangential component of velocity v0, we will also have a radial component of velocity v, which is directed towards this center, which we mark as O. Or over here we can say that if we consider this triangle, which we refer it as PO and this we Q. So over here if we draw PQO, then we can say that this distance r is continuously changing, and because of this change in this distance, a velocity dr by dt is introduced, and since this velocity is also not constant, it is also varying with time. So dv by dt will introduce us a acceleration in the radial direction. Apart from this acceleration, a acceleration will also be produced, which will be omega square r or v square upon r, because of this component of velocity v0, which is not changing with time as stated in the problem. So the problem is stating that it is continuously moving or describing a circular path with a uniform speed v0. So because of this speed v0, a v square upon r will also act in the radial direction. So over here, if I write the net value of acceleration which we are looking for, so we can say that for the planar motion, the acceleration away from origin So we can say that the radial acceleration away from origin will have two aspects, d square r by dt square, and followed with this we will have v square upon r or omega square r. So we will be having these two aspects, and now we will be taking care of these two aspects to calculate the final value for our problem. So over here let us start with omega square r. So when we are talking about omega, we define omega as the component of velocity perpendicular to the radial distance. So over here in this case, the radial distance which we are referring to, or radius r, so radius r can be written as L sin theta. So we will have a component L cos theta in the y direction and then L sin theta, and if we are defining omega, then we will be taking velocity perpendicular to r, which is L sin theta. So component of velocity perpendicular to r is going to be v naught. So we define omega as v naught upon L sin theta. Now if we calculate omega square r, then we can say that omega square r can be written as v naught square upon L square sin square theta times r. R is L sin theta, and hence we can say that omega square r over here can be calculated as v naught square by L sin theta. So this is a very interesting deduction as far as this problem is concerned. So we have this part calculated, which is equal to v naught square upon L sin theta. Now we are going to worry about dr by dt and d square r by dt square. Now to solve for this particular case, we don't have any other clue apart from this triangle that we have POQ or PQO. Over here again I am repeating, as this point is pulled upward with an acceleration E naught, the bead is going to move in a circular path which we have already described, and as the bead is moving, it is having two components of velocity. One velocity which is continuously pulling the bead in the inward direction and causing a circular motion with changing radius. So over here if we write an expression for this right angle triangle which we are forming, and now this right angle triangle is having such that the length L is constant. The length L is not pulled, y is changing with time, r is changing with time, but L is constant, and it is always a right angle triangle. So over here we can write an equation for right angle triangle. So for triangle POQ or PQO, we can definitely write L square is equal to y square plus r square. And over here we are mentioning that L is constant. So if we differentiate with respect to time, so this part is going to be 0, and then we have 2y dy by dt plus 2r dr by dt. So over here if we remove 2 and we write the expression as r dr by dt as equal to minus y dy by dt. So since we are looking for acceleration, we need to differentiate again. So if we are differentiating this term again, we have two numbers in product. So we are applying product rule. So over here we can say, if we keep r constant and we differentiate this part, we get d square r by dt square. And if I keep dr by dt constant and differentiate r, we get dr by dt. And dr by dt is occurring twice, so we are writing it as dr by dt whole square. And it is equal to negative sign kept outside, and if we are defining the same way over here, y, and then we are differentiating dy by dt, so we get d square y by dt square, and this time we put minus and dy by dt constant, and we differentiate y, we get dy by dt whole square. So we get an expression like this. And over here, as I have mentioned already, that since this force is not impulsive in nature, if the bead does not leave the floor, the first thing that is said, then find the magnitude of its acceleration immediately after the upper end of the thread is pulled. So immediately after the upper end of the thread is pulled, so we are mentioning over here that dv by dt is 0 and d omega by dt is 0. So it is not producing a sudden change in this direction. So d square or dr by dt over here for that matter can be put as 0. Similarly dy by dt can also be put as 0. So we are cancelling this part as 0 because there is no change in velocity taking place in an impulsive way or immediately at t equal to 0. We are cancelling that considering the aspect at t equal to 0. So at t equal to 0 we have cancelled this part, and now we are writing this expression as r d square r by dt square, which we are looking to solve, and it is equal to minus y d square y by dt square. So d square y by dt square, or the change in y, is causing an acceleration a naught in the upward direction. So this a naught can be written as d square y by dt square. So we are writing this as a naught, and d square r by dt square, which we are looking to find, is equal to minus of y by r, and this can be written as a naught. So y by r over here can be written as cot theta, and we get minus a naught cot theta. So this is the second expression which we have calculated. So if we come back to the principal part, that a radial can be written as d square r by dt square minus omega square r. So over here, if we substitute the value of omega square r from here, which is equation number 1, which we can say, and this one we have calculated, and which we are referring over here as expression 2 which we have. So from both the expression from 1 and 2, so we can say from equation 1 and 2, and if we substitute it over here, so we get a equals d square r by dt square minus omega square r. So we can say a radial can be written as minus a naught cot theta, and then again we have minus and minus v naught square upon L sin theta. So over here if we take negative outside, so we can say we are left with a naught cot theta and plus v naught square by L sin theta. So over here the entire expression or the magnitude of acceleration is positive with a negative sign. So the negative sign over here indicates that the acceleration is directed towards the center. So negative sign over here dictates directed towards the center. So we are writing directed towards the center, and we get this as the radial component. We are also going to understand this aspect that there will be no acceleration along the tangent, as there is no force in that direction. So we can say that there is no force in the tangential direction, so there is going to be no component of acceleration in the tangential direction. And as this string is pulled upward, the particle or the bead is going to follow a spiral motion. So there will be a component of velocity v naught and a component of velocity v in this direction. And again it must be kept in mind, the question is asking us immediately after the upper end of the thread is pulled, and as it is asking us immediately, we are saying that tensional force is not impulsive in nature, and hence this aspect is again going to be very important, that at t equal to 0 there is going to be dy by dt equal to 0 and d omega by dt is also 0, which we have used over here, that both these components we have nullified to 0 and we obtain an expression like this. So in this particular problem, multiple concepts are used. Multiple means we have used aspects of constraint motion, we have used aspects of definitely the definition where we are saying d square y by dt square is equal to acceleration. The concept of circular motion is also used. So it is a multiple conceptual problem where we use multiple concepts together to evaluate all the expressions, and then we put it together to get the final answer, which is equal to a naught cot theta plus v naught square by L sin theta, which we say directed towards the center. So I hope you loved this wonderful problem. Continue to watch, like, share and subscribe the channel for more such videos.